How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build that positive mindset. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to talk about not only how to create a positive vision, but live your life in a way to where your mindset and everything else comes in alignment with it so you can receive it and experience it. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say this word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive space. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. Well, before we get started, if there's something that you enjoy or take away from this episode, if you're on YouTube or Spotify, you can actually leave a comment below. Not only does that help me know what it is that resonates with you or that you love in the episode, somebody else might read your comment and it might inspire them to give this episode a listen. I want to make this the #1 mindset podcast in the world. And the best way to do that is together. So whether you share this podcast or leave a positive comment, it means the absolute world to me, and I could never thank you enough. But let's dive into today's episode. So this perspective, this is what it's all about. I talk about a positive mindset, and so many people come to this podcast wanting happiness, wanting joy, wanting positivity in their life. And yes, that is what you can receive and experience with a positive mindset. Ultimately, a positive mindset is about the perspective that you perceive the world in. Positive meaning closer to love, negative would mean further away from love, the highest frequency that there is. And so if you operate in a certain frequency, that is how you perceive the world. So if you're in pain, if you're going through something difficult, that's how you'll see the world. If you're in love and you're in that high frequency, that's how you see the world. And this is perspective shifts. But how do you manifest? How do you create something that you desire? How do you attract your goals, your vision, these things that you want? This particular exercise that we're going to talk about might be a game changer for you. You've heard of a vision board. You've heard of putting the vision out there, writing down your goals, really saying the affirmations, seeing it, believing it. We've even talked about it here, where you go to that place, you make it real. You use the process of gratitude to connect with certain things in the future that you want to attract. So here's something that you can do as well. This is something that I've recently started to do, and I think it can be tremendously impactful for you. So if the state that you're in now affects the way you see the world, if you change your state, meaning that would change your perspective. So if you're in life and things are difficult, home life is difficult, work is stressful, and you go on vacation, you might get some clarity. When you're in a bad relationship and then you move to a good relationship, you might get some clarity. When you're in a tough situation, you move to a good one, you get some clarity because your perspective changes. The actual world didn't really change that much. The actual opportunities didn't really change that much. They existed then just as they exist in your new place, whether that's a safe place or what. It's all available to you. But how can you do that now? How can you see from a different perspective without having to make a change? Because maybe you can't at this moment. Here's what we'll do is when we're thinking about something, when we're faced with life, whatever it is, you're going to create a funnel. And this funnel is going to make sure that everything that's inputting into you has to go through it first. That is changing your perspective. So whether you go to a place where you're on vacation, whether it's your new career, your new relationship, the new you, physically, mentally, whatever it is, you need to create an image of that in your mind. So here's an example. You don't have to do this one, but here's an example. So imagine that you want to have the type of money where you can live wherever you want, have freedom, travel the world. Like that's your vision, that's your goal. But you can't see it now. You're struggling to pay the bills. You're living paycheck to paycheck. Life is stressful. You don't even know how you would travel to these places. Like you don't know the answers to any of these things. Create the vision of you there. So see yourself on the beach. See yourself relaxing, maybe having that drink, or maybe it's the morning, you're just taking in the sun, or you're reading a nice book, but you're on this place that you desire, that connects with you. You feel the warm air. You can hear the ocean, the waves coming in and out. Like just connect with this moment. And again, create whatever this is to you. It could be living on top of a skyscraper. It could be riding a motorcycle. It could be on the beach. Create this positive place. This place exists. This is now the call center for all things that need to go within you. All ideas, all things you need to think about, all decisions have to funnel now through this call center. So you have this version of you, and we'll use the one that I just suggested, where you're on the beach, you're relaxing, you're in your element. Maybe you're living off passive income, so you're checking your phone, you're seeing the deposits going in so that you don't even have to work. You have built the beautiful life that you've always desired. You're in this moment. Now, whatever you're faced with today, whether it's how to handle work, employees, your spouse, whatever it is, whatever you're faced with today, it needs to funnel through that version of you. So the idea, instead of looking at it from my current chair, my current state, goes to that version and then funnels through me. So that version routes it. So it's like the idea calls that version, and that version says, how can I help you? The idea or the thought says what it needs, and then it transfers it to you now. So it has to go through the high level you to get to you, and your perspective will see it from that. So you'll no longer be looking from your current position, you'll be looking from your desired position. So you don't have to make a choice based on current self, you're going to start making a choice based on future self. This is where the law of attraction kicks in. The law of attraction does not know the difference from your current state and your dream state. It just knows how you're processing, how you're feeling within. And however you feel within, the law of attraction is going to do its job and attract more scenarios that keep you feeling the same way. So you have a goal, or maybe there's this person you want to date, or this job that you want to have, and you see yourself without it, meaning I'm someone that desires this job, then the universe is going to keep you in a position of desiring the next thing. But if you're operating from a place of fulfillment, if you're operating from a place of completion, of achievement, of desire of like what it is and actually being in it, then the universe doesn't know that you're not actually there. It just perceives that that's how your internal state is. So it's going to bring more things that reinforce that internal state. That's why we say it's not about chasing something. It's not about doing something. It's about becoming something. It's not the what, it's the who. The universe will keep reinforcing who you are, not what you are. So you'll get that new job, but you'll still feel the same way. You'll get that new car, you'll still feel the same way. You'll get that raise, but you'll still feel the same way. You'll get that new relationship, but you'll still feel the same way until you change your internal state by doing things like this, using gratitude to connect to the things that you desire, allowing the thoughts to process through there so they have to go through your higher self. Then the universe attracts that and makes sure that all your experiences are in alignment with higher self. This is how you make the shift. This is how you rise up. This is how you take back control. The law of attraction is always working. It's working now. It'll work when you shift. So use it to elevate you. Use it to be the best version of yourself. Your calling is here. It's tapping in. That's why you're listening to stuff like this. You could be listening to music right now like everybody else. You could be just listening to a story, an entertainment podcast. You could be doing so many things, but yet you are dialed into something so specific and how to change your life. It can't be an accident. Open your eyes. It's time. Become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on how you can see the world and receive the world. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook group all down below, so I appreciate all the follows there. And if you're ready to level up, if you listen to this episode and you want to talk about what one-on-one coaching would be like, how to make a mental shift, how to do more exercises like this exact one we talked about, this is what I do. I'm a mindset coach. If you reach out to me via Instagram, which there's a link down below, or the other one, the coaching info, I will get back to you with some information. We can talk about how this program might be right for you. And if you are someone that wants that group format, maybe you're not ready for one-on-one, but you want to join a team of people. You want to be with other people that are on the same journey that you're on. Check out my group, Freedom Fundamentals. You can reach out to me via Instagram and I'll tell you all about it. But it's people that are coming together to expand in health, wealth, and happiness. We break it down to just 90 minutes a day and how you can make that shift in this group format. There's 2 calls every single week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you want more information on that, again, just reach out to me via Instagram and I'll be happy to tell you about it. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.